Hello and welcome to Improv TV, where we break down making things up. Let's see, I just brushed my teeth. It is 5:10 in the morning. I am on a manic kick. I've just brushed my teeth and ate some chocolate chips, so I'm ready to go. Let's talk about some improv. Oh yes, and I also just wrote my will and testament. Just 2 copies, you know, just in case. Got my witnesses ready. Just got to have some people sign it. It's not what you think. It's just time, you know. Let's see. Anyway, enough about me. More about improv. So today we're going to be talking about musical improv. So we just, in the last one about interviewing the audience, they interviewed this person, repeated her name over and over again. It was lots of good stuff. They got all this stuff and they just said, all right, these 3 guys are going to sing a Broadway song about all the stuff we just interviewed you about. And that is huge. And I know musical improv has such a scary tone to a lot of people. I hear all kinds of stories about, like, you know, big famous UCB people kind of like not doing a song even when they have an opportunity. But it is such a huge part of entertainment throughout all of history that it is just such a shame to miss. It kills me to miss that stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's just such a delightful piece. And it's not that hard. I mean, people get lost in what? The rhyme, the meter, and singing stuff. And I guess sometimes emotional quality. They can keep all the first 3, and then once they get good at that, they just do those 3 things and lose the emotional why. So, I mean, all you have to do is fulfill a little bit of a rhyme, have a point of view, not lose your meter, and you're good. You're good. And we'll get in later. You just want to find a chorus if you do a whole song, although they kind of do a different thing here. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it, and let's see what Brain Brady's got to start off with everything.
Like Broadway type number. Is that all right? You got a Broadway? Let's have a Broadway type number.
Happy anniversary to me. 1, 2.
Okay, I'm already gonna stop. That was huge. That was huge, that move. It was like he gave us a location, he gave us a person, he gave us a time. I argue. It wasn't said overtly, but it was strongly implied by drinking, alone, drunk, being her, singing to herself. Huge, huge, huge. On our anniversaries, we got a who, what, when, why, where, everything on that first line. Huge. Emotional content, genre. It fit the music. I don't know how they did that, but that was an amazing first offer. And all he did was walk out and say, happy anniversary to me. Because on the sidelines, I'm sure he thought, what's the funniest part of all that? It's on her anniversary. She's a wine writer. Ooh, wouldn't it be funny if she was drunk by herself singing happy anniversary to me? Because she's been married to 3 guys. So wouldn't it be great if she was, you know, losing another husband or something like that? That would be so much fun. So he thought of that on the sidelines, I'm sure, and came out and just did the opening line, that.
Marriage number 3.
All right, so that was a big payoff for 2 reasons, because it rhymed and because he said that they had 3 marriages. So that was just literally what she said and what Drew Carey repeated. There are 3 marriages. So the fact that he got it to rhyme and the fact that he worked it in had a big payoff, so we got a woo and a clap, right? And it was sad. So, you know, after you do a thing, right? This is classic improvised by Mick Napier. After you do a thing, think about what you just did and do more of that. So he's saying, he already knew, but he goes out, he drinks and says, happy anniversary to me. He goes, oh wow, I'm being sad on my anniversary. That's it. I'm being sad on my anniversary, drinking alone. So it's going to be about those things. And so the rest of this should be about that.
How can I get help when I need an app to help myself?
Big payoff. Second, I don't know, verse. You could call it a verse. I would call it a movement, maybe. I think it had a rhyme, but all it was is just straight up, how can I get help when I need an app to help myself? So just a position. I am helpless, more sad anniversary stuff. That's all it is. So now let's see who this, I don't know who this guy is. I should learn his name, but let's see what he brings in. How he heightens what they've got.
I'm your husband, Dan, and I am fine.
You are fine.
I haven't sold any software, that's why you drink wine.
Because I'm drunk.
Okay, so he just came in and heightened that, right? So he just came in and went, all right, you're alone on your, you're drinking. He made her less alone, but he did make her more sad because he made it his fault that she's drinking more. And he got a rhyme, which is a payoff. And he just fit the sad, right? You could just come out and make it more miserable. I'm your seventh child that you ignore. What rhymes with ignore? Whore, bore, chore. You could use any of those lines. You're a chore, you're a bore, you're a whore, and it would get a big laugh.
We're the three husbands, we're Rogues Gallery.
Okay, so we're the three husbands. So they're just bringing themselves in one at a time, heightening at each line. So they've built this notion of all three husbands there at her anniversary while she's drinking by herself. It's great.
1, 2, 3, set up with Valerie. You've been married 3 times, they say the 3rd time's a charm. You started with Chardonnay and now you drink Boone's Farm.
Great. Okay, he doesn't have a super strong voice. It's not important. All he did was say more wine stuff, more sad wine stuff, and heighten it by saying we're 3 husbands, and now they're all sort of swirling around her in this awful dreamland. It's great. And he rhymed 3 with Valerie. So it's not like he's, going all for it. The important thing I'll say, though, is that they didn't really sacrifice their rhymes for the story. I suspect what they're doing for their rhymes is they're doing like an inverse rhyme method where you come up with the word you really want to say, and then you come up with a smaller word in front. You sing that first, and then you can get to the important part later. So if he wanted to say, Valerie, he might think, ooh, 3, we're the 3 husbands. So 1, 2, 3, we're here with Valerie. I wish I remembered what the guy before said, but I know he did that tactic as well. Yeah, so you just think, what's the important line? And then you actually move back a little bit and then sing that. And that's a way of not sacrificing the story for the song, because it's really tempting to go like, just sing straight forward and just be like, something sad. Okay, so like, I'm your child and I have already passed. And then you think, oh crap, what rhymes with past? Last. When you will find me, you know that I will be last. And then you're like, wait, what did I just sing? And the audience will think that too. And so if you thought past, then maybe you could sing last first, and it usually means more symbolically. It's like, I'm sure you don't remember me, I'm last. I'm the 3rd child that's here from your dark past. It just makes more sense if you think about it that way. And it makes it seem planned, I guess because it was a little bit more. But it's just good to have that last punch be at the end, because that's usually what you think of first anyway. So that's a trick for that. Let's keep moving.
Valerie, today will be the day that lives in your mind. 5 years, that's a hell of a long time. And to love him, I think you just might know. Just a note of caution, dude, she's a black widow.
Okay, so that was just another verse. And I would argue that this is giving it more of a why. So they sang where they are, they sang what's going on, and now they needed a why maybe. So he said, today's the day that will live in your mind. So he's making it like more personal. And he established that it's her, she's the character now rather than him. And he was just rhyming and singing to the event. You know, that's a long time, ha ha ha. Just saying truths and making it rhyme gets a laugh. So you just have to say what's going on and what's around you, you know? Which is harder if you didn't have all those juicy suggestions at the top. Then you have to make that stuff up, and it has to still feel true. In this case, all they have to do is say what already happened and make it rhyme. That's it.
No one can compare.
No one can compare
With her multicolored hair.
with her multicolored hair.
Each and every single day. Be it with her Chardonnay. She will make my children swell.
Because she knows in London how well I know you'll see.
You'll never see me again.
Valerie, it's Valerie, Valerie.
Okay, they're literally just singing her name over and over again. Yes, they did a very lovely movement in the bridge. That was the bridge in there. Where they all kind of like were singing stuff at once, which was really cool. But then they just went into like singing her name over and over again, and it worked because they knew her name and she was their champion. So I'm going to argue that the only reason that that worked is that all of the other stuff was laid in so nice. They just went to singing her name because they made her life look so sad that they kind of needed to pick it up a little bit, I'm guessing. Yeah, so it was good because if it just got sadder and sadder and sadder, it's like, how do you end that? So they ended it on a big Broadway number. It fit the genre. They just sing her name over and over and over again. It's a great tactic. Let's just hear them sing the name over and over again and rejoice in it. Simple, stupid, retarded. That's the way I learned it. You know, you PC folks can get after me, but that's simple, stupid, retarded. Actually, it's proven 3 lines is really all you can think of when you're in moments of panic. That's what the military uses. So simple, stupid, retarded. Those are your 3 lines when you're singing musicals. Just make it easy on yourself. You don't have to make it hard. You can just sing Valerie over and over again, and it'll be great.
For me.
2460 Valerie.
Let's hear it for Valerie.
You go and enjoy the rest of your life together.
Okay, great. So they saw her off during the applause. They made a huge shower for her, and they just said, okay, you may now be seated, right? They gave her permission. Notice she had a seat that whole time. That's really important because she had a place to be and a thing to do. Standing and shifting your weight around can feel really weird. Ugh, I'm just coughing up, burping stuff. Blah. I don't think there's much to see, but let's just see what's left.
I am on a pony.
Okay, now they're just doing their commercial interludes. So I think that will conclude the first part of both the short form and just the musical improv comedy section. They did a lot of difficult musical numbers, and they didn't even have a chorus, which I find really interesting. I guess that's more typical of some of the, I don't know, newer Broadway type numbers that they were doing. It would have been longer, and it would have been easier, I think, if they found a chorus to just nail over and over again. But they just basically did verse, 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 bridge, and then maybe the chorus tagline at the end, which was just Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. And they got a few lame, like, for me kind of rhymes, which I don't think really fit. It was mostly just finding the game of now we're going to celebrate her over and over again. They just found a new place to go with it, and they just went with it. Like, notice the commitment. They were just waving their arms and la, 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 you know, they were walking around in the background, really supporting each other. I think that really helps. So I think that's all we really need to cover. Next time, I think it's just going to be more short form, and if you're following the improv series, the musical improv series, that will be, I don't know when I'm doing that next, we'll see. So thanks a bunch for Improv TV. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.